Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of We Build. So in this episode, we are going to build this RC airplane using foam board. This is a Cessna 172 RC replica. Let's do it. So we have our plans ready. Our friend printed it out for us. So I'm just testing all of these if they match right there on the bus stop outside my apartment. So these layouts were printed on A4 sheets, and then we have to cut them and combine them together because the airplane is going to be way bigger than A4 size. So we cut all the parts and paste them using cello tape. The plans and the waste. So here are all the cutouts, and you might guess the length of our plane based on this, but then you cannot guess the width. I mean the wingspan. The wingspan would be almost double of from here to here, almost double of this. So let's go to the foam boards now. So here is the layout. All the plans are on my foam board, so now we can cut it. Actually what we can do is, this foam board is actually 5 mm thick and it's hard to bend. So that's why what we'll do is, this is the lower part of the wing and this is the upper part. So the upper part needs to bend a bit, and that we cannot do using this foam board because it is thick. So we'll cut the base of the wing using this foam board, and there's one more piece right there, and we'll use that piece for the upper part of the wing. So let's cut it now. So now we'll cut all the pieces on this foam board, and I am using two sizes for this foam board. One is, this is compressed foam board by the way. This one is 5 mm thick and the other one I have is 2 mm thick. This thicker one I'll be using for all structural parts, which are, basically essential for the shape of the airplane. And then the 2 mm one I'll be using for not so structural parts, like which are just for looks and cosmetics. So that one, and the upper part of the wing. So I have cut the main fuselage, three portions of it, and then I am going to join them together. Some pieces we need a bit stronger, like this, where we are going to mount the motor, the front propeller. So that's why we are going to use this plywood to cut this shape now, and then we can work on the fuselage. The plywood, now you see these marks on our layouts, this one. So we need to mark it in exact same position here, and then accordingly our this support to hold the propeller is going to stay like this. Let's do this. So here I'll make two notches on both the side pieces, and then I'll make another one at the bottom as well. Before doing that, I am going to paste these three pieces for the fuselage together, just pasting like the straight ones are pasted quite easily, but towards the front of the airplane, that's where we need to bend the bottom sheet. So either you can heat it up a little bit and then bend it, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to paste it slowly, and then keep on forming it so that it doesn't break. If you put too much pressure and paste all of it together, it might just break. Now I'm making some notches right here where I'll paste this hardboard plywood piece where our front propeller motor will go. So in the notches I am putting some hot glue, and then I can paste it properly. I'll have to hold it for quite some time for it to stick, but then I'm not showing that on video anyways. And this is the two I have to cover this gap, so I'm using this 2 mm foam board to cover the gap, and you just saw my tracing technique to get the size of it. So just like that, I am able to get a perfect piece and paste it right there. And once it is pasted, the bottom portion I'll paste it and then cut it to size using this cutter. So that's how one side is covered, and I'm going to follow the similar procedure to cover the other side as well. And once it is pasted, then all we need to do is sand it. I'm just cutting the extra portions right there, and the second one also I pasted using the same process, and now sand it. After a lot of sanding, it is quite smooth. Now I am cutting the two other pieces. These two pieces are for the tail, the empennage. So this one is our vertical stabilizer, where the what do we call it, elevators connect, and this one is the horizontal stabilizer, which is where our rudder is connected. So I am cutting out these two pieces using the same 5 mm foam board. So here is the basic fuselage, still needs a lot of work. So we need two more supports where we can attach the wing. So one would be here, other one would be here, and that will make out of plywood. Let's cut it. So we need two more strong pieces which will hold our wing in place. So I'm going to cut those two as well on this plywood. Quite a task to cut these, but yeah, we need them to be strong anyways. So I have to cut the four sides and then the cross you see in the middle. Now according to this, you can mark one here, the one around here. This is my paint booth. Let's paint it. Here it is, all painted in black. Now I'll make other notches to put these two structures in place as well. So you can paste it just like that also, but I'm just being a little bit extra conscious so that it pastes pretty good. So one piece goes right there and the other one goes in the back. So the front piece is bigger and the smaller piece goes in the back. So that's how we have our basic structure ready. This is how we'll place the wing on this structure later. Now let's cut the other few pieces which are left on the foam board. These would be the tail section, and then the front bonnet you call it, or cowl, and then the windows. All these I'll cut on this 2 millimeter foam board because as I said, they are not structural, they are just there. Four more parts: side windows and upper front cowl, back cowl. And here we have some velcro. This is what I'm going to use to stick to the battery, I mean stick the battery to the airplane. I'm doing this because the battery is the major weight of the airplane and it cannot be fixed in one place. We'll have to adjust its position so that the center of gravity of our plane is where we need it. I'll explain it in a bit. Meanwhile, we install the controller. All these connections I have explained in one another video. Make sure you check it out, which is all the electronics connections are explained in that, the BLDC motor, the servo motors and everything. So I made this platform, and on this platform I'm going to paste this strip of velcro. Quite convenient because it was sticky from the back. I just pasted it right there, and now we can place our battery just like this and check the center of gravity for our airplane, which is quite crucial for flight, and then move it around. So with the battery installed, now I can work on the front engine cover or cowling. Now for this I'm cutting out bonnet kind of thing so that I can get some place to access and keep the battery. So I'll charge it and then place it again inside and then check the center of gravity and then move it around. That's why I'm making this bonnet. So it is not a dummy, it is of actual use. For this, I'm using a magnet to place it to hold it in place. This magnet goes on the bonnet, on one side of the bonnet, and it sticks like this. So I've pasted the magnet on both the ends, and now to hold the other part, the where hinges are supposed to be, I'm just going to use this sellotape. So basically this sellotape is enough to hold this to make the hinge. Now if you see, you can open the bonnet like that, drop it, it closes, and it is also against the wind, so it won't open by itself. The wind will keep it closed when we are flying the airplane. Now we just have to paste this cover right there. I have already installed the BLDC motor. Forgot to show you. But yeah, now after some rubbing and all, I am going to install the propeller. For this propeller, there are small plastic pieces which they give with it, which is quite helpful, so that the propeller can fit in the shaft. Now the propeller is installed. This is the front cover. In before installing this front cover, I need to make a hole of the size of the BLDC motor, because the BLDC motor rotates itself. And then I also need to install our landing lights on it. So I'm giving it a shape like it is in Cessna. And now since the front is covering no, the front is curved a bit, so that's why I made the curve. And then I am installing these two LED bulbs as my landing lights, and luckily these two LEDs are of good size and they already look like a landing light, so I don't have to do anything else, just place them in place and then make the connections, right? Test. Now to connect the LEDs, the landing lights, I'm using the escape controller, which gives landing 5 lights. Volts. And then see, I'm not sure if you can see in the video, but yeah, it blinked. Now I am just going to paste the front cover, and it is in place, cutting up the extra edges, sanding it off. Test. Check this out. The motor, the propeller works perfectly fine. It is blowing off this piece of polythene in front of it. Now I have to make the windows. For that I couldn't find anything good enough, so I am using this jar. It is a plastic jar, so I'm cutting it out in shape, in the size of the windows, and then pasting it on this 2 millimeter um, foam board. And now I just paste it like this, and then our windows will be ready. I'm going to paste it on the sides using hot glue. Quite easy, nothing much to it. Here goes our left side windows. Left side windows on, and right side windows. Nice and easy. So we have both the windows installed. Now we can move on to the back windows. Same process, just cut out a same size, paste it on this, and I paste it on the airplane. Nice and easy. So that's how our canopy is almost ready. Now I'm just cutting the extra part in the front, and then we'll later install the windshields as well. Here is the bottom part of our wing. So I am making it smooth on the edges, because on the edges it is going to be thinner compared to in the middle. So you know the aileron shape, right? So I just made it like this. It's smooth on the edges, and rubbing it obviously make it more smooth, and then we'll cut the upper piece. So we have to make the wing ready. So for the wing, it has to be in the airfoil shape. So the airfoil shape is a bit thicker towards, in the front part of the wing. So that's where I'm installing another strip of this 5 millimeter cardboard, so that when I paste the upper portion of our wing, it becomes a little bit what thicker where it is needed, so it will be a perfect airfoil shape. This right here is our upper part of the wing. So check this out. Now you will understand. The upper part goes like this, and it bends like this, and this is the reason I didn't use a 5 millimeter foam board here, because it would not bend so easily. So now I can just paste it towards the edges right here. All I have pasted all the edges properly, and that's how our wing will be ready. Just few more hot glues, and then obviously sanding. So nice and smooth, our wing is ready, and look at this, it looks so beautiful. Now we have to cut out the aileron, so I'm going to mark it using our plan, and right here it will be our ailerons. This will be the right aileron. I'm just gonna cut it from the wing, cut it out first, and then later we'll connect it back. Yep, right there we have our left aileron. Just like that, we have our right aileron as well. Now the aileron needs to move up and down, so we have to make a cut towards the front, so that it is able to move. One thing I missed is I didn't provide strong support in the center where it is going to connect to the fuselage, so I had to cut out part of it and then paste this plywood here. I should have done it earlier instead of cutting it out, so you remember to do it. Now I'm going to install some interior designing. Because I don't want, because we have windows on this plane, so I don't want it to look bad from the inside. So that's why I'm just installing our dashboard, and then a few seats, and even window shades. So here goes our windshield, and looking pretty. Check this out. The sunshades are looking cool, right? Now at the back, same thing. I'm using this leather strap for this, so it gives a leather look. Now now it's time to install our servo motors for the rudder and elevators. For this I am using this wire, right? You can use any wire, any flexible wire, and then I pasted the motor right there inside and it is coming out from here. So this wire I'm going to use for elevators. And check this out, I have already made the connections as well with the receiver, so uh, I can use my remote to control it. Check this out, this wire is going in and out. If you can see, I put my finger right there, it goes in and out, and that's how it is going to move our elevator up and down. Same way we need to install for rudder as well. So I didn't show it before, but the wire was a bit small, so I had to connect two of these spokes together, which I did using some Fevikwik super glue and putting a heat shrink on top, and then I again put some super glue, so it was quite strong. It would not come apart in mid flight. Right, it's ready, I tested it. And then the rudder one, I'm taking out from the top, and the same way I'll just install it on the servo motor right there. So it's connected, and once it is done, I'll test both of these together after connecting it to the receiver. So it goes on channel 2 on the receiver, and then let's try it with the remote. Both of these are working perfectly fine, right? Again, yeah. Now the back seats, I'm just using some sponge from waste packing. There goes our back seat, and similar I created two front seats as well. I'll just put them in. Now the wing, these things, along with installing that plyboard in the middle, I should have done it before pasting the upper part, but anyways, now is also okay. Now I'm putting this servo motor. This is going to control our ailerons left and right, and these two should be connected in reverse polarities, right? So if one aileron goes up, the other one goes down. This is gonna be our joystick, goes right in there. Small things, small details, right? So right here, when I was putting these wires through the airplane and making them come out in the middle, it was quite a task. It was quite difficult, so you should have done it before. Check this out, all the tests are done, everything is working. Now I can work on the tail section. For the tail section, this is the horizontal stabilizer. I'm going to put this tape, I'm not going to paint it, so this tape is going to make it stronger, and it is going to give it its colors as well. So this horizontal stabilizer is cut out and taped, and then this is the vertical stabilizer. This is going to be all white, so just taping it white. Now these two pieces are ready, and then I'm going to join them together. Before that, let me just tape the tail section, so that because once I paste the tail section, it would be quite difficult to tape this section. So that's why I better do it before pasting the tail section. So the top is going to be white, the top of the tail section is going to be white, and then the bottom half, it is gonna be blue with a I think red stripe. I am following this theme because I am trying to make a plane in CU, which I learned how to fly airplanes in, so I'm just trying to make a replica of that. And now is the turn that we paste our empennage section. We combine these two together, and see, looks nice, right? Now I can paste it in the airplane itself. So once this is pasted, our tail will be ready. It goes right there, and just a little bit of hot glue in the front as well to give it strength. That's that. So our tail section is ready, starting to look like an airplane. So let's finish up with the color scheme. So I made the markings, did some measurements and all, and then made the markings. So the bottom section, as I told you earlier, is going to be blue, so I'm going to tape it blue completely. And then the red stripe will be coming from the rudder section all the way through, following this same line the blue is following, right? So that's the color scheme. I'm just quickly gonna do it. Left side is done same way. On the top is going to be white, so white tape. So this tape is going to do two things. I could have painted it, but then that would be a mess. But then this was a good idea to use the tapes because it is going to provide strength to the airplane also, and it won't break so easily, and also it will provide the color scheme as well. So once the taping is done, it is looking quite pretty. Now I am installing all the electronics as well. Right there, done. Now these are the hinges which I'm going to connect with the rudder and the elevators and the ailerons and everything. So I'm going to make this cut inside the rudder, two cuts, and then put this just putting it for size. I'll take it out first and install it in the horizontal stabilizer first with some hot glue. So right, it in it goes one, and the other one at the bottom. So I have two hinges which will be holding our rudder in place. You, if you don't have these hinges, you can even use tape to do this because but yeah, since I ordered these hinges, I'm going to use them. They were quite cheap and I found them on Shopee. So our rudder is ready. Check this out, full movement left and right, nice. Now the elevators. For the elevators, first thing is they both the elevators have to move together, so that's why I have to connect them together using this wire. So I'm going to shape this wire like a U or V or something like that, and then making some measurements according to the plane's tail width, and then based on that I made two holes in made two markings actually, and then I'm piercing this wire through both sections. So this will convert these two elevators into one, and they will have the same movement of up and down, and then everything else is the same. I'm going to install these hinges 1 2 3 and 4, two on each sides, and then just simply put this elevator in, and then our elevator will be ready. And then eventually we just have to connect the wires that are coming from our servo motors to the rudder and the elevator, and they'll be able to move properly. That's that. Elevator also is connected. Now these are gonna be our wing tips. These wing tips will have the navigation lights. So on the left it is supposed to be red, and on the right it is supposed to be green. For this I'm just using some toys that we usually get on beaches and all. I had a toy which had two LEDs, red and green, and they used to blink. So I took it apart and then just simply installed it on the wing tips. So see, the right one is green, left one is red. I'm not sure if it is the colors are visible properly on the video or not, but anyways, it is working. Now I can just paste the wing tips here after making the connections. Pasted, and then sanding. Everything is sanded and the wing tips look something like this. Pretty nice, right? Now check this out. I have made the connections again, and this is how it looks. Right side green, left side red. Now I'm going to tape up our wing as well because it is also ready. Yeah, the wing is gonna be white, so I'm going to cover it in white tape, and there are gonna be blue and red stripes, which I'll do in a bit. So I'm doing this before installing the wing on the airplane, because after installing it will be quite a task to cover it in tape. But yeah, before that, before installing, we'll also connect the ailerons same way as we just connected our elevator and rudder, and some hot glue on the hinges, and there it goes, just like that. Both the elevators are also connected. I forgot to show the connections. I forgot to record the connection to the servo motor, but anyways, that's not a big deal. You can just connect the small wires from servo motor to our ailerons, and the polarity should be opposite, so that if one elevator goes up, the other one goes down, right? My airplane doesn't have wheels right now, so let's use this one. Balance, huh? Okay. I'm too excited to test it, just can't wait. Let's see if my motor can pull it. What? Pretty awesome. Now we are left with the undercarriage, the main wheels and the nose wheel of the airplane. For the main wheel, I tried using the same wires that I used for servo motor connection, but it didn't work. So I came up with this idea using this EXA blade. One single blade is not so strong, so I double it and then fold it like this. So this is the strut for our wheel, and the wheel I can just simply attach using a screw, self-driving screw, just like that, and we have one of our main wheel ready. And honestly, this was the most complicated part of it of the airplane build. So I have two main wheels ready, and I can just paste them on the bottom, but simply pasting them on the airplane would tear the airplane apart. So I had to again strengthen the bottom by using some plywood. So I'm making this notch here so that the plywood has some place to fit in. And in this notch I'm going to put the plywood, but before this, under the plywood I'm going to paste the main wheels, and that's that. So our main wheels are installed. Now the front wheel is a bit complicated. I had to think a lot how to install it, what to use. So I got this piece of plastic lying around. I used it to make the strut, I would say, for the front wheel, the support. And then I'm using a pen and then installing it using a self-drive screw. So after installing it, we have the main wheel ready. And then again, to install it on the airplane, we cannot just paste it, otherwise it will just break. So I'm using this piece of plywood, and then I'm going to melt the pen on the top and then bend it left and right so that it sticks in place. This will, I hope it works. I'm not sure, we'll see later when we test it. Now the same process, I am going to install the nose wheel in the front as well. Just paste it using hot glue, and here our wheels are ready. Let's test it. So on the initial test it was pulling to the left. I tried again, fixed the wheels a bit, and it worked. Nice. Now let's install the wing finally. To install the wing, I'm using these two ply boards, and then um, I actually tied them using two wires with the structure that we had in the body. And then after doing the measurements and making the stripes on the wings, I am just going to screw the wing in on the plywoods in a bit. Here everything is ready, just like that. Taking the center of the wing, make sure it is center, and then you self-drive screws. There it goes, one and two self-drive screws are enough for it to stay in place. A quick test, the wings, check this out, it is supporting the weight of the whole airplane, so no issues over there. Now let's test one more time. There it goes. So everything works, it is able to pull the weight and everything, and when I lift it up and run the propeller, it is even I can even feel the thrust. But I don't want to fly it in residential area. I don't want to get in trouble because I have a real license, the flying license, pilot license also, so I don't want to mess it up. That's why I'm going to go to an open place and then try flying it, and hopefully it flies. Fingers crossed. You'll see that in next episode. See you in the next one.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing.